Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Debbie. This is my crafty Dan, and this video is a little different. I wasn't going to film this, and then I thought I may as well. So I'm kind of stepping in the middle of a DIY. I wanted some extra large Easter eggs for my tiered tray on my coffee bar, and decided that I was going to decoupage the large sized eggs that I hauled last week from Dollarama. So this is kind of what I've done so far. So I've taken 2 of these eggs and I've covered them with book page. Now I just used really long skinny strips and ran them from both ends down to the middle until everything was covered. Now if you take some of the strips and cut them to a point, it makes it a little bit easier in some places, but yeah, they overlap. So the next step for these eggs is I have some beautiful napkins from Ninny's Napkins, and I will put a link below for that. Now this one is this beautiful cherry blossom pattern with a chickadee on it, and this one is just a beautiful and I believe this is apple blossom or cherry blossom, I'm not sure which, but with these gorgeous butterflies. So I'm going to start with this one. And all I want to use for each napkin, there's a full going across the page, there's a full pattern like this. But I only need 1/4 of this napkin, so I'm going to cut that off. I don't like to waste my napkins. I don't like to use too much. There. And set that one aside, and I'm just going to use this one. So let's separate the napkin. I got glue on my fingers. Oh, that was pretty easy. So there's the separated napkin, and now I want to see what this is going to look like on here. And I think it's going to look very pretty. So I am going to take the napkin, a little bit of water and this fine brush, and I am going to go around this the best that I can so I can tear this napkin away and just get what I want. I'm going to work on this branch right here. Let's take bits of this off that we don't need. I'm going to try to go, I'm going to try to just soften this edge without losing the flower. There. Maybe, I think I'm going to stop right there. Take that off too. It's a fairly large image. There, just like that. And then I'm going to, because I want this egg to sit up like this, I am going to put this on here like this. There. Oops, wrong brush. I'm going to use this little wedged one. It's really soft, and I think I can get some good control with this. There, look how pretty that is, guys. Just so pretty. Just like that. Now I'm going to take the little bee I'm just going to tear that bee right out of there and put it. I'm just going to take that bee and put it on that flower. And I'm thinking right in between these blossoms will be a great spot. There. Just like that. There, I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to work on my other egg. So on the other egg, I'm going to go with the other napkin. And as you can see, it's the same image in all four again. So I am going to cut just one of these away and use just one panel, because I think that's all it's going to need for these eggs. I just don't think I need more than one panel. If I do, the napkin's right here. Little glue on my fingers. Let's take just the top layer off. There. So let's get the other egg. And like I said, I want the small end up. And I want to put a bunch of this image on here. So I'm going to cut this one down a little bit differently. So I'm going to very carefully go around the end of this, like this. Okay, so let's put this on this egg. So I want the bird to be upright. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start on the bird, and I'm going to work my way over the whole napkin. So with a little Mod Podge, let it soak in for just a second, and just enough for it to attach itself. See, it sticks itself to the egg. Then I'm going to start brushing. And by leaving it dry and doing it this way and not trying to glue down, I don't have to place the whole napkin. There, can you hear the wind blowing? It's lovely and warm though. So let's just kind of go down this way. I'm going to move this. I'm trying to stay in the middle of this section and glue the middle down so that I can take my brush and slowly brush out to the edges. Lovely. I love the way that this image, this branch just travels And by cutting it out the way I did, I can kind of let it travel over the egg. And the napkin is so thin that you don't even have to cut slits in it because it'll just overlap where it needs to. And once you have the Mod Podge on there and it's a little bit wet, it'll just go on its own. So a little wrinkle right there, but that's okay. You're not going to notice it. Trying really careful to keep my fingers in the areas of the egg that are still dry and not stick them onto any of this napkin, because if I do, it's going to lift the napkin when I take my fingers away. So it kind of goes like this. So beautiful. I'm just going to put it in here to dry. I'm going to turn it upside down because there's no glue at the top, and that'll let that dry. And I'm going to go, because I don't want to touch it with my fingers, I'm going to leave this here because that'll go on the rest of that egg. And I'm going to go back to this one that's starting to dry a little bit and grab the rest of that napkin. So beautiful. Now I want kind of this section because I'm going to start at the bottom and here, and I'm going to go on the back of the egg and let it go up. So right about here, I am going to try. I'm going to try and see what happens, guys. So I'm going to go this way and take that off because I mean, it's just, it seems too big to me. And I don't think I can do all of that part in one. So I'm going to go up just very carefully between this. Very, very gently. Try to pull these apart because I want to keep the image intact on the whole napkin. I just want to separate the image. There, I think that's enough. I just want to kind of get the top a little wee bit ragged, I guess, because I don't like this. Let's pull that away. And a little bit here, just because I don't want this to be a perfectly straight edge. And I think it'll kind of go down just the way I want it. So I'm going to go to the back here and start maybe going an angle around like that. So maybe up and cross. So let's see what happens. I'm going to start by putting the main stem down. Just like that. I'm sticking. I stuck to something right there. I pulled it off a little bit. Let's try not to touch the egg anywhere else. There. So if you get pieces that fold over, let them do their thing. In a pattern like this with the flowers, it's okay because no two flowers are alike anyway. Oh my goodness. This isn't cured and I'm getting glue on my fingers. I have to get that off of there. There, let's see if I can do it this way. Oh gosh, guys. Gosh, it's pretty. Hey, I'm going to go back to this egg now while that one dries a bit, and I'm going to add the other branch on. There, let's let this all dry for a bit. So these eggs are dry enough for me to handle without sticking to them. And I want to put from the bottom about halfway up, I want to take some of this metallic wax in the rose gold. It's Art Alchemy. And I want to take some of it and I'm going to start brushing it at the bottom. So here, I'm just going to try to get the bottom covered with this. Just like that. And I'm going to just brush little bits of it up and then rub it out and shine it with my finger because it'll just polish it to like this most amazing shine. Just, you know, not in a nice straight line or anything. Just however far, when I do this, just however far it goes up when I polish it. Just like that. And then on the top of this egg to finish it up, I am going to go crazy with my stickles. Yes. So I'm going to start by just going over all of the stems, the flowers, anything, mostly the flowers. By just glittering, just the flowers, guys. And not heavily. There. Now, let's see. I think I need to do the butterflies. Maybe a little more glitter than And I know I'm going to get some comments that say that it looked better without the glitter because some people hate glitter. But you know what? A little glitter in your life doesn't hurt. Okay, I'm going to stand this up nice and straight, go all the way around it and see what else it needs. I think I'm good. I am going to add a pearl. And I've got some of these large sized flat back pearls. And I am going to put it on there with a little dab of glossy accents. There, and I'm going to let that dry. I just want that very top to have that pearl on it. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom of this one. I'm just going to darken up the bottom just a little. There, just enough. I'm going to take these stickles, and I'll have to get them started again. And I am just going to go over each one of these pink flowers. There, and I do not, in this case, I did the butterflies, but I do not want to do the chickadee. For the second part of this project, which is the 2 plain white eggs, I'm not going to put the book page on these ones. So, but what I'm going to do is I've taken this napkin, which when opened up, I got a whole package of these, and these came from the grocery store. I just got a package of these delphiniums. They are so pretty, guys. So my thoughts with these are is I've kind of measured to see what will go around the egg without overlapping too much anyway. And then I went around the delphiniums at the top. But because the egg goes in at the bottom as well, I am taking little bits here, just little bits. I'm going to take this little bit out right here. And I kind of just split this a little. So I'm going to take this little bit of purple out right here like that. I'm going to just add a little water down between these two and split them. And this one right here. And split them. And I think that's just going to make it easier for me to put this big piece around that egg. So I just got to get a little bit of this glue on my finger, make it tacky. And I'm going to take the backing off of this. There. So I'm very carefully going to pull this apart because I just want the top layer. I probably should have done this when the napkin was square, but I think I can do this if I'm careful. Trying not to rip off any of these bits. There. So now my thoughts are, I'm just going to take this egg, the tallest one. I want it to go to the top, all the way to the top like this. So I'm going to start it pretty much here. So I'm just going to take my brush, get a little bit of the Mod Podge on it, and put a little bit of the Mod Podge right around here, like that. That's all. I just want to get it started so that I can start working through my napkin. So this wants to go to the top, so right about there. Hold that on there for just a sec and then turn this over like this. So like this. And then I'm going to be really, really careful with this one. And I'm going to take the egg in my hand now, and I'm going to try to go around the middle. Like that. Okay. I'll put this up a little bit. Very carefully. I can cut some of the bottom off. So very carefully I'm going around like this. Now I've got it all the way around the egg, and I am going to take, I'm just going to take my scissors and cut about a 1/2 inch off the bottom. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. There. And then I'm going to do the bottom first, I think. Okay, so because this is going to be so difficult to do, I am putting this in here. Okay, so I gave it a quick dry, enough that I can hold onto the bottom without it coming off in my fingers. And I am going to do each flower. So I put the water between each flower so that each one of these flowers goes up separately, so that I can lay it up the egg the way that it has to go. So each one can go on. And then I can just turn it and work on the next one. Whoops, that's tearing right there. Let's not let it do that. There. Remember, keep your brush nice and wet. It's when the brush starts to dry out and becomes tacky that it starts to pull on the napkin. This isn't the easiest thing that I've ever decoupaged. A little bit too hard right there. Put a little bit of that purple right in the middle there. I could have let it dry just a little bit longer, I guess, guys. So yeah, I'm in a hurry to try to get this video done, because this was a last minute project idea. I was actually just tidying up my craft space, And these napkins were, I had my spring napkins out looking at them for something else. And there. There, I'm going to put this one on top of here and let this dry. But look at how the flowers go all up the egg. So once this is completely dry, I'll give it another coat of Mod Podge. And when the other two are completely dry, I will do that as well. I think I'm going to do the fourth egg, but I won't do that on camera. And I will show you what they all look like when they're done. So the floral that I've chosen for the fourth egg is this pretty purple floral napkin that has a bouquet on each panel. So this is my finished eggs. So I absolutely love these eggs. I love the book page. I love the little bit of rose gold at the bottom. You know, it's lighter at the top and then has the little pearl on the top of it. I think it's just so, so pretty. And I wish the camera would show just how pretty it is. It doesn't look bad in the camera, but it just looks there. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous in person. And I love that. And here's the other one that's done the similar way. This one's a little darker on the bottom. The sparkles on the flowers and the butterflies, just so pretty. And then the stems and some of the flowers are just flat. So I love that contrast. So I love those. And then these ones are a completely different style. So just look, this is, if you like this floral. So I brushed pink stickles over the top of this whole egg. It just needed to be, glammed up. And look at how it shines. It is so, so pretty the way it catches the light. I love this. I love the way on the egg, when you put the napkin down, that these curled around the curve and it made them bend even more than they were. Just so pretty. And then this one, this is the one I did off camera. So this one was just so pretty. And the napkin that I used for it, I showed you. And it was just that crocus posy wrapped, the stems wrapped in this music paper and tied with a bit of twine. And I loved how it looked. But then when I got it on the egg, it looked too plain. And I thought, this one needs to be on a dark background. You can't decoupage a napkin onto a dark background or it loses the picture. So I actually put this on the white egg, and when it was dry, I painted all the background with this deep purple, and then I added just the pink stickles to the purple part and not the posy. I left the posy flat. And I love the way that turned out too. There's something about the contrast between the floral and then this dark purple. I just love it. And instead of a pearl on the top of these two, I actually put a gemstone on the top. So if you like these decoupaged Easter eggs, then give me a thumbs up on my video. Let YouTube know that you're watching. Comment down below. Let me know which one is your favorite, what style you like the best. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now before you leave. and I will see everybody in the next video. Until then, bye bye for now, everyone.